So today I want to tackle the question that so many people ask me all the time. Is my microdosing working? Or how do I tell if my microdosing is working? So we're going to spend this episode helping you with that. And I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised that your microdosing likely is working. I'm Uncle Davey. I usually say I'm Dr. Dave. For the past many years, I've called myself Dr. Dave. But the other day, I was recording a short video here for the same channel. And for some reason, I don't know why I said I'm Uncle Davey. And it kind of resonated. So I don't know. Tell me what you think. I might try it out for a little bit. But anyway, let's get right into today's topic. Is my microdosing working? So I would say if you started or you're about to start microdosing, this question is probably going to come up with you. And if you don't understand what's actually happening, it's really easy to get anxious and second guess yourself. And worst case is you quit way too early. So let's slow this down today and we're going to get it right. At this stage, most people start scanning themselves all day long. Am I calmer? Am I happier? Should I feel different by now? Should I change something? And I want to say this gently because there's no judgment in it whatsoever. That constant checking is just anxiety wearing a different outfit. It feels productive. It feels responsible, but it's the same nervous system pattern that you're trying to change. You're just pointing it in a different direction now. And you're super worried about, is this actually working? And I understand that. And, it's no different than checking the stock market every minute or checking your blood pressure every day or every 20 minutes. I've got a quick story I want to share with you about that. Back in my days of extreme anxiety, this goes back to the COVID days. Every single day, or probably even several times a day, I would check the COVID stats online. And I live here in Utah. How many people in Utah got COVID yesterday? How many people are getting COVID? How does it relate to other parts of the country? And I was so anxious and so obsessed about this, and it was terrible. It's not good to be anxious about things like that. And that goes for checking any kind of statistics. Again, like the stock market, your blood pressure, all of your, whatever your medical lab results. We can get super obsessed with all this, and it just leads to more and more and more anxiety, and it's not good. So what I'm going to say right now is super important. Microdosing does not work by making you feel good all the time. It works by changing how you respond to your life. And that distinction really matters. And one of the most common questions I hear all the time is, how long does it usually take before I know if my microdosing is working? So we're going to address this today. And the honest answer is, it depends on how you look at it. If you're waiting for a clear emotional shift, a lifted mood, or some obvious signal that something kicked in, you might think nothing's happening. But that's not how this works. Early progress is very subtle, especially when you're dealing with anxiety or depression. It looks like pausing just for a moment more before you react, even if it's just for a second, instead of immediately going into fight or flight mode. It looks like recovering faster after an anxious spiral, instead of staying stuck in that all day and beating yourself up about it. It looks like the anxious thoughts are still showing up, but they're not completely hijacking you the way they used to. And it could look like the depressive heaviness, the feeling you get from some depression is coming and going, instead of settling in and convincing you that this is just how it's always going to be. This is how your life is. It looks like not taking things as personally as you used to, not because you don't care, but because your nervous system isn't on high alert all the time. It looks like noticing patterns sooner, catching yourself before anxiety or depression fully takes over the steering wheel. And sometimes it looks like something very simple but important, feeling a little less urgency to fix everything immediately. because you trust that you don't have to solve your entire life today. These are not small changes. It's your nervous system learning a new way to respond. But because those changes don't announce themselves with fireworks, like I think I said that last time, people often miss them. And then they assume that the microdosing is not working and they quit early. And that never works. I promise you that. And another question that comes up a lot is this one. What if I feel worse before I feel better? Does that mean I'm doing something wrong? Well, that's also a great question. And like I said, I hear that all the time. And I really want you to understand this. Feeling worse does not necessarily mean that something is wrong. Sometimes what happens is that awareness increases before the relief does. You start noticing things that you used to push away. You become more honest with yourself. Old patterns come more into focus. Remember, mushrooms bring things that may have been buried up to the surface. And that can feel uncomfortable. What matters is not whether things feel smooth every day. What matters is whether you are responding differently, whether you're staying present instead of panicking, whether you're observing instead of immediately trying to fix something. And if things feel a little raw at times, that doesn't mean that the microdosing is not working or it's hurting you. It could mean that you're no longer numbing or avoiding in the same way that you used to. And another question I hear all the time, what if I don't feel anything at all? Does that mean it's not working? And again, I want to be really clear here. A true microdose is not supposed to feel like much in the moment. If you're waiting to feel something incredibly obvious, you're probably going to miss the real shifts. Because microdosing is always working in the background. It changes how you respond and not how you feel for just an hour or so. It changes your relationship to anxiety, not whether anxiety ever shows up, but just your relationship to it. It changes your ability to pause and not whether life just feels challenging. If you're functioning normally, going about your day, and later you realize you handled something differently than you used to, that's a signal. I think that's a great signal. And here's something that surprises a lot of people, and I really want you to not only hear this, but truly understand it. When microdosing is working, you may actually feel less certain for a while, and that can feel unsettling if you're not expecting that. Why does it happen? Because rigid stories and defenses start to loosen up a little bit. Old coping strategies, they don't grip you as tightly as they used to. And when those structures soften, there can be a period where things feel a little bit unfamiliar. And that is not failure. It's flexibility. You're not losing your footing. You're learning to stand without the same old armor on. And this is exactly where people start to make mistakes. They start tinkering. They change their dose too soon. They chase a feeling. They compare themselves to other people's experiences. They decide it's not working because they had a bad day or maybe even a rough week. And then they quit. They quit microdosing psilocybin and they drift on to something else. So if you're early in the process, your job is not to make adjustments right now. No major adjustments, let's say. Your job is simply to observe, to notice, and to let the system learn and work. Microdosing is not fragile. You're not going to break it by having doubts. But you can interrupt it by constantly interfering. And that's what a lot of people do. They just give up or move on to something else. So let it do its work now. Don't judge the process based on one moment or even one day or 1 week. Don't judge that process so quickly. Stay with it. And this brings us to the exercise for this week, and it's intentionally incredibly simple. Here's what I want you to do. Once a day, I really want you to do this. Every day, one time per day, just ask yourself this question. What did I respond to differently today than I would have yesterday or before, sometime in the past? That's it. Not better, just different. I don't know, maybe you notice an anxious thought show up and you didn't immediately follow it down that rabbit hole. Maybe you still felt anxious, but you didn't rush to distract yourself, numb it, or make it go away. I don't know, maybe something triggered you and you paused for a moment instead of reacting automatically. Maybe you felt the urge to fix everything, and for once, you didn't act on that. These moments matter more than you think they do. This is how you track real change without feeding the anxiety. And I want to say this before we wrap up. This year is not about dramatic breakthroughs every week. It's about quiet, compounding change. The kind that actually lasts. I promise you, no one else is talking about it this way. And even in the past, I didn't talk about it exactly this way. I did what everybody else was doing. Here's how you dose. Here's how much you take. Here's how you wean off your SSRI. I did it all that way. And not that that's bad. But this year, 2026, every episode builds on the previous episode. And we're working this out. So this is absolutely going to work for you the right way, finally. Everyone wants the quick fix. But we're doing it right this year. If you stay with me, if you stop second guessing every step, if you let this unfold the way it's meant to be, your relationship with anxiety and depression will change. I promise you this. It's not going to change overnight. It's not magic, but it's meaningful and permanently different than where you were when you started. I promise you that. And that's how we're making 2026 your best year ever. I said this at the beginning of the year, and I'm not wavering. I'm not stopping. We are making 2026 our best years ever. Again, every episode is numbered, and I want you to make sure you don't miss anything. Follow them sequentially. If you're brand new, go back to episode 1. They're all numbered. You'll see it. And remember, I've got a brand new episode every week. Check the show notes and my website, microdoseu.com. It's microdose with a letter U on the end of it. I've got some important links for you, especially how to join our Patreon family. And that's a family, that's a group where you get into. It's a different platform. We're all together. We talk about things that we just simply can't talk about here in a public forum. Like I will share with you, and we all share together, where to get the best medicine. And not only that, but a lot more. We have live meetings. We have a WhatsApp platform where we're all 24/7, always helping others with questions. It's an incredible family on Patreon, and I'd love to have you join. Yes, it is a paid platform, but it's only $12.50 per month. And if $12.50 per month is too much for you to change your life, then I honor that, and I welcome you to just keep listening to keep listening or watching these podcasts, because you're getting a tremendous amount of information here as well. But the Patreon level just it does take it to a different level for sure. And that reminds me, I want to give a warm welcome to some of our brand new Patreon members that have just come on within the past few days. I'll only give first names because we keep everything totally confidential and private. Noel, Bobby, Russell, Christopher, Slickum, Matthew, Christina, Laura, John, Sarah, Chris, Thomas, Aurelion, Sandra, Isaac, Jake, Val. We've got a lot of new members. We get them all the time. And like I said, it's an incredible family. I would love to see you there. And before I go, I just want to say again, let me know what you think about Uncle Davey, because I am Uncle Davey. No longer Dr. Dave. Well, I'm still Dr. Dave. Uncle Davey. And I want you to understand that you are valuable and you matter. You matter a lot to me.